Hey guys, it's Jazz. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Change of scenery because everybody and their mama want to do something in my house today. So yeah, I'm in my car because it's quiet. If you hear the AC, I'm sorry if it's annoying. I'll try to keep it low so that it doesn't get too crazy, but it's 101 degrees today in Texas, so I'm gonna try not to melt. First and foremost, congratulations to the class of 2017. Y'all made it. Y'all survived high school. Congrats. I have a treat for anyone who is going to be staying in a dorm or in a college apartment or something. It is a extension cord that hooks onto your bed. What I like most is that it has USB ports. Say if you want to charge your phone but you already have two things plugged up here, you don't have to worry about not having space for it. I have a 30% off coupon code. It is BPJazz at thebedpower.com. So without further ado, let's get into the tips. Number one for my tips for you guys is to choose your classes early. And it might sound like self-explanatory, like of course choose your classes early, but I say this because classes go really fast when there's a good teacher, and if you're there early you have a better chance of getting the teacher you want or getting a really good teacher. Plus you'll have more options. Sometimes a lot of the midday classes go by fast and you'll be stuck with either a really early class or a really late class, so choose your classes as early as you can. Number two is rate my professor. Rate my professor will literally be your best friend. Okay, what it is, basically you look up a professor's name or a school's name and it'll let you see the reviews on a certain teacher. And the best part about it is it works for junior colleges, community colleges, regular universities, pretty much any school you look up. It might not have all the teachers, but it has a variety of schools that you can look up, not just regular universities. My tips for using Rate My Professor is to avoid the teachers that get reviews that say that the teacher is unorganized. That means that they're probably going to be all over the place and they're likely to lose your assignments, which is not good. Usually when they're unorganized, they don't respond to your emails, and that's unacceptable. Second tip for my professor: some teachers are really good, but they're also really tough graders. They have different categories within the reviews. Some of them will say tough grader, super easy, laid back, stuff like that. Know your limits. If the teacher gives a lot of work, can you handle that? Will you be doing extracurricular activities? Can you handle a lot of reading? Can you handle tough grades? For example, if you're an athlete, you might not have time to do a lot of reading. So know your limits. Know what you can and can't handle. If you know reading is not your forte, you should probably avoid teachers that give a lot of reading assignments unless it just can't be avoided. By each teacher there's usually a number, and I suggest trying to stay in the 3 and above range, because I mean you're not going to get a perfect teacher every time, but if they're at least a 3, then you should be okay. Choose the best thing for you. Choose the best that you can get out of all the options you have. This is a quick side note. I know if you're a freshman, usually your advisors pick your classes for you. Don't be afraid to go in there and rearrange some things to fit your schedule the best. Next, get a planner, because it will help you keep track, I promise you. Even if you're just putting stuff in your phone, keep track of all your assignments. The best thing about college is that they give you a syllabus. It basically lists every single assignment, every single test you're gonna have ahead of time so that you know. There's this thing called syllabus week. What they do is they go over the syllabus with you, and syllabus week is probably the best time to fill out your planner because you're not doing anything. So at least fill up your planner until all the way up to midterms, and then when midterms get close, fill it all the way up to finals. Number 4, wait to buy your books. Do not buy too many school supplies. I promise you, you're not going to use as many school supplies as you do in high school unless your major just requires you to have a bunch of stuff. But if you're a freshman, you're probably not going to need a lot of stuff because you're usually just taking basics. So don't ball out, because I know a lot of YouTubers, they post, you know, oh, back to school supplies haul, and they got all this shit. I promise you they're not using half of it, or they just have a whole bunch of stuff stocked up that they haven't touched yet. But yeah, wait to buy your books. I know a lot of teachers will put in the syllabus what book you're required to have for the course, but sometimes they do that because they have to. Wait until like the first day of class, fill it out, see if you're gonna need your book. Also, Rate My Professor will usually tell you whether or not you need the book. Some people will tell you that they got an A without even touching the book. Some people will tell you that everything you need to know is on the PowerPoints, that the tests are based on the PowerPoints. Rate My Professor is like the #1 tool for college students. Number 5 is kind of like, really, do I have to? Yes, you have to. Visit your advisor at least once during the semester, just to see what classes you'll need to take for the next semester, or what your options are if you're not doing too well in a class. Your advisors are definitely underrated. Do use them when you can. Sorry, I think I got a mosquito bite and it like really itches. Number 6, find all of your classes at least a day or two before class starts. That way you're not walking around looking stupid. Nobody wants to be late to their first day of class. That's a bad impression. Number 7 is really important. I'm not encouraging you to drop your classes, but pay attention to your drop policy for your school. If a lot of us are on financial aid, so what they do is if you drop your class before a certain date, you can get 100% of your money back from that class, and then essentially you can use that money to pay for a different class. But before you drop your class, also make sure that the class you want to switch into is available for you. Make sure you it's the right class, because you don't want to switch it to a class that you're not supposed to be in. Make sure you really want to drop that class. Of course you can re-enroll, but try not to be too like wishy-washy about what you're doing, because it is the government's money that you're messing with. And then on top of that, if you drop before a certain date, it won't show up on your transcript. After a certain date, it'll show up on your transcript that you withdrew from the class. If you withdraw too late, you'll just get whatever grade you get along with all the missed assignments on your transcript, and that can really hurt your GPA. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Those are the 7 tips I have for you guys. I narrowed it down to 7. There's so many that I could have told you guys in this video, but I wanted to keep it as short as possible. 7 is my favorite number. 7 is known as the lucky number. So I'm hoping you guys have good luck on your first day of college. This is super early, that way you know what the deal is, because I know some people go shopping for their supplies like in July and August, and that's when all the back to school videos start popping up. But I want it to be early so that you guys know what's up before it's time to go. So don't forget, you can get a discount on the extension cord at thebedpower.com. My code is BPJazz. It's also linked in the description box. You can get 30% off at the checkout. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.
Sleep, we be bumping like my G. You my man, but tonight we gon' do it like we're creep. Me on you and you on me. I don't mind being your freak. I'ma knock it out. You ain't gotta